Between Mediterranean sunshine and gold-plated walls, there is a kingdom smaller than a golf course that holds secrets that stun the world. It's not just home to the super-rich. It's a stage for the surreal. Beaches that mirror yachts, neighborhoods that are utterly silent, and license plates that cost as much as a castle. Join us today as we step into Monaco, a place where everything that seems luxurious hides strange stories, taking you on a journey to discover 17 unbelievable facts about the world's smallest country. Number 17. Monaco, the most luxurious lifestyle on Earth. Between the glittering Mediterranean and the misty outline of the French Alps lies a kingdom so small it could fit inside a Florida golf course, yet so impossibly rich it feels almost unreal. Covering just 0.78 square miles, Monaco is the kind of place you can walk across before your espresso cools, and still have time to snap a few selfies with passing Ferraris. By mid-2025, the population is estimated at 38,341, but here's the twist. Only about 9,000 of them are actual Monegasques. The rest? A dazzling collection of millionaires, billionaires, aristocrats, and Hollywood faces, all drawn by one shared obsession: a tax-free life wrapped in gold. The air hums with French, Italian, and English. But the real language here is silence and status. One flick of a wristwatch can say more than a full conversation. Winters average a mild 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 10 degrees Celsius. Perfect weather for wearing a tailored coat while cruising the coastline in a convertible supercar. Forget forests or farmland. Monaco trades nature for opulence. Private helipads rise where hills should be. Hidden paths lead straight to glittering casinos, and every festival feels like a scene borrowed from Versailles. It's not just a country. It's a living showroom. A velvet-roped world where even the air seems to sparkle, and membership is limited to those who can afford the silence. Number 16. The Lonely House. The ancient secret behind Monaco's name. Before the yachts, before the palaces, before the neon glow of Monte Carlo, there was only silence. The name Monaco itself carries the ghost of that past. It comes from the ancient Greek word monoikos, meaning a single house, or the solitary dwelling. A strange name for a kingdom now drowning in glitter, isn't it? Yet, in that lonely word lies the very soul of this place. A reminder that even the richest nations were once built on solitude. According to ancient legend, the hero Hercules passed through this coastline after one of his 12 labors. He destroyed a temple and built his own here, dedicating it to himself, the House of Hercules. From then on, sailors called the area Monoikos, the home of one. That myth still lingers like a whisper beneath the luxury towers and casino lights. Centuries later, the meaning has twisted into irony. Monaco is anything but solitary. A playground packed with billionaires and endless soirees. Yet beneath the marble and money, there's a strange stillness that remains. Walk through the narrow alleys at dawn when the sea mist curls around the cliffs, and you'll feel it. That quiet, ancient heartbeat of a lonely house that somehow became the world's most crowded symbol of wealth. Here, even in the noise of perfection, the silence of origin still echoes. Number 15. The legendary F1 streets of Monaco. Each year, Monaco's calm streets transform into the world's most dangerous racetrack, a high-speed ballet between marble walls and million-dollar yachts. The Monaco Grand Prix isn't just another Formula One race. It's a ritual of precision and pride, where engines echo through royal corridors and adrenaline replaces oxygen. The circuit winds through the city like a silver serpent, past the harbor, through tunnels, beneath balconies where celebrities sip champagne. Drivers call it the crown jewel of F1, but also the hardest track on earth. 1 inch too wide, and the dream ends in sparks. For 3 days each spring, time in Monaco bends to the sound of velocity. And when the race ends, silence returns, carrying the ghosts of champions who once danced with danger on these sacred streets of speed. Number 14. Larvotto, the most expensive beach in Europe. At first glance, Larvotto looks like an ordinary beach, until you realize the water doesn't just sparkle, it mirrors your yacht anchored offshore, as if the sea itself were admiring wealth. Hidden in the heart of Monte Carlo, this slim ribbon of imported sand curves along the Mediterranean like a stroke of gold drawn by hand. Small but hypnotic, every inch of it feels designed for a magazine cover. Here, silence is luxury. Loud music is forbidden. Only the soft rhythm of waves and the faint clinking of crystal glasses fill the air. The breeze carries a scent that could only belong to Monaco. Part salt, part French perfume, entirely unattainable. Summer stays flawless at 79 degrees Fahrenheit, 26 degrees Celsius. Under an endless blue sky, the sea so vibrant it looks unreal. Even in winter at 10 degrees Celsius, the promenade stays alive with elegance. Cashmere coats, slow walks, and the glimmer of cafes where even an espresso feels like an event. Swimsuits are Versace, sunglasses rival Rent, and the sunlight itself seems filtered for the rich. Yet here's the paradox. Larvotto is Monaco's only public beach. Completely free, it's the one place where anyone can sit beside millionaires and, for a fleeting moment, share the same horizon. Number 13. Women of Monaco. Beauty with a secret code. If Monaco were a novel, its women would be the chapters no one dares to skip. They walk the streets like poetry dressed in silk, graceful, composed, and always 2 steps ahead of your expectations. People call them elegant, but that's too simple. These are women who can close a business deal in 3 languages before lunch, then make it to a gala without smudging their lipstick. They say beauty fades, but in Monaco, it seems to have signed a lifelong contract. The women here live longer than anyone else on earth, an average of 93 years, not from green juice or morning yoga, but from mastering the rare art of calm. They don't rush, they don't raise their voices, and somehow, time returns the favor. Their conversations glide between French, English, and Italian, sprinkled with talk of stocks, symphonies, and weekend escapes to Provence. And if you ever attend a Monaco wedding, prepare for rules. Love here is a ceremony of precision, announcements in the press, gowns worth fortunes, and vows that sound more like royal treaties. Over 80% of marriages in Monaco involve foreigners, and perhaps that's the charm. Romance here feels like diplomacy, passion negotiated over champagne. Behind every diamond smile lies a quiet mystery. In a country obsessed with perfection, these women seem to have discovered how to live forever, beautifully, and on their own terms. Number 12. Monaco Ville. The cliff that time forgot high above the glittering harbor where the sea breeze smells faintly of salt and old stone sits Monaco Ville, the city's oldest quarter and its quietest secret. Locals call it Le Rocher, the Rock, and once you climb its narrow streets, you'll understand why. It's less a neighborhood and more a living time capsule, a maze of pastel houses, cobblestone alleys, and balconies overflowing with flowers that seem to whisper stories from centuries past. From this cliff, nearly 200 feet above the sea, the view stretches across Port Hercule, where yachts line up like obedient soldiers. But up here, the rhythm slows. Footsteps echo, flags flutter, and time politely steps aside. The Grimaldi Palace, home to Monaco's ruling family since 1297, still holds a daily changing of the guard at 11:55 a.m. sharp, a ceremony so precise it feels choreographed by history itself. Inside the old town, even the library feels royal, housing 17th-century manuscripts open to anyone curious enough to wander in. The people speak softly, often in the fading dialect of Monegasque, a language heard nowhere else on earth. Monaco Ville may cover only a few streets, yet within its walls are 3 museums, 1 church, and a silence that feels older than the kingdom itself. Come here at dusk, when the light hits the limestone, and you'll see it. The strange beauty of a city that learned how to age without ever growing old. Number 11. A noble paradise for the world's richest pets. Only in Monaco can your neighbor's dog have a better wardrobe than you. Here, pets don't just live, they reign. Diamond-studded collars glisten brighter than engagement rings, and it's perfectly normal for a poodle to have its own Instagram manager and spa appointment. Every spring, the city rolls out a red carpet not for humans, but for its pet fashion week, where cats strut in couture and dogs model custom Hermès scarves like runway veterans. Even luxury hotels enforce a dress code. No barking, no shedding, and certainly no unfashionable accessories. It's the kind of etiquette that makes you wonder who's really in charge, the owners or the pets. Some apartments even come equipped with private elevators for animals, so Fifi doesn't have to mingle with the commoners in the lobby. And when it comes to inheritance, let's just say the competition is fierce. One pampered pooch reportedly inherited over 10 million euros, enough to buy its own penthouse with a sea view. In Monaco, dogs have bank accounts, cats have staff, and the rest of us, we're just trying to live up to their standards. Here, luxury isn't measured in square footage, it's measured in paws per capita. Number 10. Royal tea. Where etiquette is an extreme sport. In Monaco, even tea has a title. Every afternoon, behind palace walls and hotel terraces dressed in marble, the city's elite gather for a ritual so elegant it could make the British blush. This is royal tea, Monaco style, a ceremony where time slows, voices soften, and even the sugar seems too refined to dissolve. Guests arrive in red and white, the colors of the principality, and conversation flows in a gentle mix of old French and discreet laughter. Never too loud, never too long. The rules are as precise as they are peculiar. Sit upright, sip quietly, and never ever stir too fast. The tea? Always loose leaf. Darjeeling or Earl Grey steeped in fine porcelain that probably costs more than your car. The snacks are art. Tiny sandwiches lined like soldiers, scones crowned with clotted cream and jam, but never mixed, and pastries so delicate you hesitate to breathe near them. What began in the 19th century under Princess Anna Bedford has become a national performance of grace, part meal, part ballet, all luxury. And while the British may have invented afternoon tea, Monaco turned it into theater. Here, it's not about drinking, it's about demonstrating. Every teacup, every gesture, every perfectly timed smile reminds you, this isn't just etiquette, it's choreography for the rich. Number 9. The neighborhood where silence is law. Imagine a place so quiet that even the ocean seems to whisper. Welcome to La Condamine, Monaco's most mysterious district. A neighborhood so polished, even sound has to dress formally to enter. Here, cars switch to silent electric mode by law. Footsteps echo politely, and the loudest noise you'll hear is the turning of a magazine page. In La Condamine, people don't shout across balconies or gossip at cafes. They communicate with glances, subtle nods, or maybe the slow raise of an espresso cup. It's less a community and more a secret society with better landscaping. The streets are lined with private gardens, discreet villas, and gates that open only for the right kind of quiet money. And yet, just beyond the silence, the port of Monaco gleams with yachts big enough to have their own zip codes. From afar, it looks serene. Up close, it feels like an opera performed entirely in whispers. Security is tighter than a royal schedule, and privacy is religion. Celebrities, billionaires, and even the occasional exiled prince all retreat here. Not to be seen, but to vanish gracefully. In La Condamine, even the silence feels expensive. And yes, it's absolutely golden. Number 8. Where license plates are the real status symbols. In most countries, people show off their cars. In Monaco, they show off what's on them. Here, license plates are the true luxury accessory, and a single letter can be worth more than a penthouse. Forget horsepower. What really turns heads on these polished streets is a plate that reads F1 or 1MC. Shorter plates mean higher prestige, and in Monaco, that's practically an art form. The record so far? A worn-out Mini Cooper once fetched $14 million, not for its engine, but for the 2 characters screwed to the bumper. Meanwhile, a brand new Bentley with a random number might as well be invisible. Locals joke that you can tell a person's net worth before you even see their face. Just count the digits on their plate. The fewer, the richer, they say, half serious, half proud. Some collectors treat their plates like royal titles, passing them down through generations, polishing them like family jewels. While Americans trade vintage cars and Germans flaunt watches, the Monegasques turn the mundane into magic. In this city, even a license plate can have a fan club. And the parking lot, well, it's just another red carpet. Number 7. Life in Monaco, where ordinary doesn't exist. Arriving in Monaco feels like walking into a painting that refuses to fade. The air smells faintly of salt and money, and even the shadows seem well-groomed. Streets are spotless. So spotless you'd hesitate to drop a thought, let alone a piece of trash. Everyone moves slowly here, not out of laziness, but because when you're rich enough, time politely waits for you. Morning begins at the Condamine market, where women in silk scarves and quiet confidence pick organic truffles like choosing jewelry. There's no haggling, no shouting, just gentle nods and smiles that say, "I'll take 2, charge it to my lifestyle." Even the fruit looks more photogenic than people elsewhere. There are no homeless, no chaos, no visible stress. Not because it's a utopia, but because Monaco doesn't allow poverty. With rent often above $10,000 a month, living here isn't an option. It's an achievement unlocked. When night falls, the calm transforms into spectacle. The harbor glitters with yachts that look like floating galaxies, and the hum of engines turns into background music for champagne laughter. It's elegant, it's cinematic, and yet, beneath all that gloss, one can't help but wonder, does anyone here ever spill their coffee? Number 6. Royal travel. When every step feels like a coronation. Tourists come to Monaco to take photos. Royals come home. Every stone, every balcony, every flag flapping against the sea breeze seems rehearsed, as if the whole country is perpetually preparing for its close-up. Monaco is royal theater performed in real time. Start at the Prince's Palace, perched high above the sea on Le Rocher. The guards change precisely at 11:55 a.m., not a minute sooner, not a second late. Even punctuality here wears a uniform. The view from the courtyard stretches over yachts the size of football fields, but up here, it's the silence that reigns. Then there's the Opera de Monte Carlo, a jewel box with only 524 seats, where chandeliers glow like bottled sunlight, and even the velvet seems to whisper. Forget Vienna or Paris. This is where opera meets royalty, and applause sounds like champagne fizzing. If the sea calls, head to the Musée Océanographique, a cliffside wonder once run by explorer Jacques Cousteau. 6,000 marine species glide beneath vaulted ceilings as if attending a royal audience of their own. And just when you think you've seen it all, wander to the Princess Grace Rose Garden, where over 8,000 roses bloom in perfect rows, each tagged with a QR code. Because even flowers in Monaco come with data. Number 5. The secret language of the ultra-rich. In Monaco, money doesn't speak. It whispers. The locals have mastered a rare dialect where a raised eyebrow or the flick of a wristwatch says more than an entire paragraph. Here, a Rolex isn't just a timepiece, it's a declaration of class, a passport into quiet conversations behind closed doors. The Monegasque elite have a talent for understatement. No one says I'm rich. They simply murmur, I have some investments. And suddenly, everyone knows they own half of Europe. Politeness here is a form of strategy, and flattery, a subtle negotiation. Even the way they greet you feels coded. A half smile, a light nod, and a look that says, are you one of us, or just visiting? Gossip doesn't travel by word of mouth. It travels through the clinking of glasses at charity galas. The language of Monaco isn't about what's said, it's about what's not. And if you can decode it, congratulations, you're fluent in luxury. In this glittering micro-kingdom, secrets don't hide in shadows. They shimmer in plain sight, wrapped in diamonds, spoken in glances, and sealed with a smile that costs more than most people's rent. Number 4. A paradise built for the ultra-rich. If there were ever a country that looked allergic to mediocrity, it would be Monaco. Everything here glimmers, not just from wealth, but from precision. With more billionaires per square mile than anywhere else on Earth, this place feels less like a nation and more like an exclusive club that accidentally got its own flag. There's no income tax, no corporate tax, and apparently no limit to how glamorous life can get. Forget fast food. The closest thing to a drive-thru is a Rolls-Royce pulling up to Louis Vuitton. Even the supermarkets look like boutique art galleries, with truffles stacked like treasure and caviar treated as casually as bread. Monaco's harbor is a museum of yachts, floating palaces so massive they could cast shade on entire neighborhoods. The famous Eclipse, owned by billionaire Roman Abramovich, is worth over $1.5 billion, complete with its own spa, cinema, and helipad. Because why settle for one kind of luxury when you can have 3 stacked vertically? And since there's no room for a real airport, the rich simply invented their own shortcut. Helicopters hum above the skyline every 7 minutes, whisking passengers to and from Nice, France. From the ground, they look like dragonflies made of glass and gold, symbols of a city that refuses to walk when it can soar. Monaco doesn't pretend to be accessible. It doesn't have to. It exists for the select few who can afford perfection, and for the rest of us who can only afford to stare. Number 3. Where festivals wear haute couture. In Monaco, even celebrations come dressed to impress. Festivals here don't simply happen, they strut. Every event feels choreographed, as if the entire city has been cast in a never-ending film about elegance. Each January, the Monte Carlo International Circus Festival transforms the principality into a glittering tent of talent. But don't expect elephants and clowns with squeaky shoes. This is the Oscars of the circus, where performers wear sequins instead of sawdust, and applause comes in diamonds. The big top, commissioned by Prince Rainier III, is designed less like a tent and more like a royal theater, where even the trapeze feels aristocratic. A few months later, the lights dim again for the Bal de la Rose, or Rose Ball, an event conceived by Princess Grace Kelly and now hosted by Princess Caroline. It's not just a gala, it's Monaco distilled into an evening. Crystal chandeliers, Chanel gowns, champagne that could tell its own story. The ballroom glows pink and gold, like a dream built from roses and royalty. But beneath all that sparkle hides something quietly poetic. The profits from the night go to charity, proof that even in a kingdom obsessed with perfection, compassion still sneaks its way into the guest list. In Monaco, festivals aren't escapes from reality. They are the reality, where the line between celebration and performance simply doesn't exist. Number 2. The cost of living in Monaco. Living in Monaco means living in one of the most expensive square miles on Earth. A one-bedroom apartment in the city center costs between $4,500 and $6,000 per month, while a two-bedroom can easily reach $10,000. Just outside the border in Beausoleil, prices drop about 30%, which locals jokingly call the budget Monaco. Daily expenses follow the same logic. Utilities such as water, Electricity and heating average around $250 a month, and high-speed internet adds another $65. Groceries from luxury markets like Marché de la Condamine or Carrefour range around $600 monthly, especially if you prefer truffles and imported cheese over instant noodles. A meal at a mid-range restaurant costs about $40, while coffee with a sea view can reach $8. Gym memberships hover around $100 to $150, but many apartments include private fitness rooms, so residents don't complain. Parking in premium garages can be as high as $300 per month, and if you skip driving, public transport passes cost only $25. Healthcare, though high quality, is often cheaper just across the French border. Many residents visit dentists in Nice, only 15 minutes away, for nearly half the price. Overall, the average cost of living is $6,000 to $8,000 a month. Yet with careful planning, some manage with $4,500. Life here isn't about saving money. It's about earning the right to spend it in one of the safest, cleanest, and most exclusive corners of the world. Number 1. The cuisine of the elite. Dining in Monaco isn't just about taste. It's about tradition wrapped in refinement. Every dish reflects the country's Mediterranean soul and its obsession with precision. Ingredients often arrive straight from nearby yachts or the Italian Riviera, ensuring the freshest quality possible. One of Monaco's most beloved dishes is stockfish, or stoccafi, dried cod slowly simmered with tomato, garlic, onions, and local olives. The flavor is rich, earthy, and unmistakably coastal. A reminder that even in a nation of billionaires, humble ingredients still hold power. For those with a sweet tooth, there's galapian, a pastry made from almonds, egg whites, and candied fruit, often served during festivals. It's simple, fragrant, and has been a favorite since the days when Princess Grace Kelly first called Monaco home. Local restaurants also elevate familiar Mediterranean fare, like porchetta, stuffed with fennel and roasted until golden. The result is a dish that bridges Italian comfort with French finesse. Meals in Monaco are rarely rushed. Lunches can last hours, with wine chosen as carefully as jewelry. Even the cafes near the harbor maintain a quiet sophistication. No loud chatter, no flashing lights, just the calm rhythm of luxury. Food here isn't merely nourishment. It's a statement that perfection, even on a plate, is a way of life. Monaco isn't just about wealth or fame. It's a living paradox, a place where time slows, luxury breathes, and every rule of the ordinary world quietly dissolves. Beneath the sparkle of yachts and the echo of supercars lies something deeper: precision, discipline, and a devotion to beauty that borders on obsession. It's the kind of country that makes you question everything. How something so small can hold so much allure, and how perfection can feel both human and unreal at the same time. Every street, every ritual, every whisper of sea breeze reminds you that Monaco wasn't built for everyone. It was built for those who dream differently. Thank you for joining this journey through the world's most extraordinary micro-kingdom. If today's story made you see travel in a new light, hit like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe for more secrets from the corners of the world most people only dream of visiting. See you in the next adventure, where mystery is always just one border away.